Folks, what the crap's going on? Welcome back to another Total War Rome 2 battle. This is going to be an interesting one. It is Epirus versus Carthage. A couple of factions that I like. They each have some unique flavor, though I would not say that either one is any kind of powerhouse. In fact, they share some of the flavor between the two of them in terms of unit types. But let's take a look at the armies specifically we have on the battlefield here. We've got 3 Italian swordsmen up front, and then a line of slingers mixed with a Cretan archer. So 3 slingers and 1 Cretan archer, so that is going to be some pretty powerful range from Epirus. And then as far as cavalry goes, let's take a look around. We've got a Thessalian cavalry and a mercenary Italian cav on the right flank, and then it looks like a citizen cav and 1 more mercenary Italian cav on the left flank. In the far back, now this is this is going to be interesting. We've got an Aspis companion cavalry. This is essentially the same as a Campanian cavalry that Carthage actually has access to via mercenaries. A very heavy melee cavalryman armed with sword. It's going to do less on the charge, I wouldn't say nothing, but they have very high melee attack. The damage is somewhat mediocre, but extremely deadly. If it gets into a lighter type infantry or skirmisher, it will just rack up kills. So an interesting unit. We've got a Royal Peltist General. Gotta love seeing that. Royal Peltist are always fun. It is a bit of a risky place to put your general, though. And then we have an Agrionian Axeman, which is, again, kind of a hybrid unit, Peltist unit that's going to be supporting there. So, interesting army for Epirus. Let's go check out Carthage. On the side for Carthage, we got Libyan hoplites making up a front line, and then a secondary line. I see a Gallic warrior on either flank with 3 Libyan infantry under center. And it looks like, sorry, 2 Gallic warriors on either flank. That is 2 units of African war elephants. That is a lot of war elephants. So Carthage is going to have to really commit to winning a skirmish fight. It has 3 Cretan archers, so it is certainly capable of dishing out some serious damage in a skirmish fight, but I don't think it's going to want to do it standing still and allowing these cheaper skirmishers to fire into its expensive ones. The elephants are also moving forward pretty early in this fight here. There's some Carthaginian cavalry and a bodyguard making up the rest of the troops here, so interesting. Let's see how this goes. Those Samnite warriors in the middle, along with the hoplites and Royal Peltist, I would say that Epirus actually has a bit of an edge, probably, in the heavy melee fight. Carthage certainly has an edge with the elephants if they don't get killed. And then from a skirmishing standpoint, Carthage has the quality, for sure. There's no doubt about it, but numbers were in favor of Epirus. The Cretan archers for Epirus have already been put to rout, and one of their slingers is near the same. Those elephants, though, get immediately berserked by the Agrionian Axemen. A huge mistake by Carthage, because that could end up causing, a lot of friendly damage. When the elephants go berserk, they will cause friendly damage as well. So they're just going to be killing absolutely everything there, and then they're going to countercharge by the mercenary Italian cavalry. So that is very less than ideal for Epirus here at the moment. Or sorry, for Carthage. Both elephants were berserked, so I think the Royal Peltist got this one over here. Nice call with that Royal Peltist General. Definitely something that they can help with, is containing elephants, assuming they still have their javelins, that is. So the berserking elephants managed to kill the mercenary Italian swordsmen, but along with most of their hoplite brethren here, and then the elephants remain under fire from the Agrionian Axemen, so I would imagine we're going to see them drop relatively quick. There is some cavalry fights going on, and oh my gosh, yeah, the Aspis cavalry is going to get a hold of these mercenary Gallic warriors, and that is just the kind of unit the Aspis cavalry is looking for. One that does not possess an anti-large bonus and doesn't have a lot of armor. Yeah, it's going to be brutal. It looks like they're going to ping-pong charge over here into that Carthaginian cavalry to finish it. Help support that Thessalian cavalry. So the Aspis cavalry is staying on the move. It's already racked up 33 kills. And Carthage is kind of in trouble at this point. These elephants have racked up a lot of kills. Probably a lot of friendly kills as well. But they certainly did more work for Carthage than this elephant unit, which was limited to only 43 by the general. The general's being engaged by a Libyan infantry. The Royal Peltist ought to be able to cut through that Libyan infantry pretty reliably. The Carthaginian elephants are still berserking. They're actually berserking on top of their own Cretan archers right now. So that is, you can kill your own elephants to prevent this, but a lot of players don't either remember or don't really want to. The Aspis cavalry came in and crushed one of the mercenary Gallic warriors that Carthage was using to decent success against the hoplites. The Carthaginian cavalry came in to stop that. It might be neat to see the Aspis pull out back through the rear of that and then continue their assault, but it looks like at this point they're just going to push into the Carthaginian cavalry along with the hoplites. It's not a bad choice. That Royal Peltas general struggling more than one might think up against the Libyan infantry. That's why I said that's probably not the safest place to contain your general. Look at this, the elephants are back from routing, and they're going to come up here. This is dangerous. The Agrionian axemen are temporarily focused in on the bodyguard, but Carthage should have kept those elephants well away from the Agrionian axemen. I am shocked that the elephants did not get a javelin volley off there. So Carthage really can't afford to take another javelin volley on their elephants. Both units of elephants now at work here. So Carthage does have a fighting chance with those elephants around. This Aspis cavalry, though, has 210 kills, and it's still quite healthy. That is going to be a dangerous unit for Carthage. Nice sandwich here to finish off the Libyan infantry. And then Carthage is going to win a fight here against the Samnite warriors with their Libyan infantry. They probably had some elephant help there. These elephants are now bogged down in melee. Let's see how this unit's doing up here. 197 kills. This one has killed so many friendlies as well. Pretty even power bar, according to things here. Let's try and get a run on this. Those Aspis cavalry are charging the elephants. They don't have a bonus, but I guess that their impact and sheer attack may help them finish these elephants off since they're so beaten up. And then we've also got the slingers back there firing in. Let's see what happens. Those war elephants, they're going to get some damage done on the Aspis cavalry as well. But the elephants have mostly been stifled. And without them, yeah, I just don't see... This looks to have turned against Carthage quite a bit here. I don't see a whole lot left for Carthage at this point. Their general's getting torn apart, and the Aspis cavalry is still very healthy here. This Gallic warrior is going to get jacked up so hard if that cavalry charges him. It looks like it's going to go focus... No, it looked like maybe it was going to focus finishing off the elephants, but this mercenary Gallic warrior, like I said, is tailor-made to be killed by an Aspis cavalry or a mercenary Campanian cavalry. So interesting to see here a super heavy unit like this one brought to the battle. It represents a significant investment for the Epirot army, and it did end up getting a lot of kills. The trick with these cavalrymen is they're extremely good against light to medium infantry. They're still vulnerable to javelins. They are certainly vulnerable to melee cavalry with spears. And of course they're vulnerable to spears, which basically means that this unit has to watch out for almost everything except for its specific target. Now, I think that's one of the reasons why you don't see them picked very often. But in the right circumstances, these cavalry can be very deadly. I would say that in campaign you're going to find a whole lot more use for these cavalry because it's a lot easier to get them into an AI target. And to do a ton of damage with them. I frequently use Campanian cavalry or the Aspis cavalry if I'm going to play campaign. I would less frequently use them in multiplayer, but that would be circumstantial too, based on who I'm playing against. In terms of factions, I would very much be keeping an eye on what faction I'm up against, and then that would play certainly a pretty big role in whether or not I was going to bring them here. I mean, were they worth it? I mean, it's hard to say. It depends on the value that they got killed. I don't remember if these chevrons were on this unit prior to the battle. If those chevrons were not there prior to the battle, then they probably did pretty well. They certainly got a lot of kills. Again, the kills that these units are focused on are usually cheaper kills. But again, don't underestimate these units. Even coming up against like some heavy Roman infantry late in a fight, these can be deadly units. They don't have great armor piercing, but they do get that good impact from a charge, and they also have a little bit of charge bonus, so they can do some pretty significant damage. A fun battle here between Gabon and Cactus here. It was definitely a different one in terms of seeing double elephants, and then the Aspis cavalry, again, not something we're going to see every day. A fun one indeed. What do you all think of the Campanians and the Aspis? Would you ever use them? If so, would you only use them in campaign? Would you use them in multiplayer? So I definitely appreciate Gabon sending us this one and letting us get to see a replay with some Aspis cavalry. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you all soon with some more action in Total War Rome 2.